Hi guys, welcome back. It's Mrs. Peterson, that lady who teaches art. And today we're going to review the element of art called space. And it's actually the last one of the 7 that we've been studying. So I wrote the term here, space, and I have a little picture here that shows a star in 1-point perspective. The definition I like to use for space is area. It's about the areas in your artwork, the foreground, the background, things that are in the middle. And it also is the element of art that makes things look three-dimensional. So at the bottom of this page, we have the 6 techniques that are most common used to make two-dimensional artwork have a sense of depth or have a sense of space. So the first one is overlapping. It says, shapes in the distance will be overlapped by shapes that are closer to the viewer. So I have a little circle in the center of the field, and I'm going to put a big circle behind it. And the one that's actually closer to me is this front one, because it's not overlapped. The back one is being overlapped, so it's further back. The next technique is called shading. It says, adding shading and shadows to two-dimensional shapes makes them appear three-dimensional. So I have a 2D square right here, and we're going to turn that 2D square into a cube. So if I go up and back, up and back, up and back, connect those. Now I've made it look a lot more three-dimensional, but we can take it even a step further. If I put the horizon line in, I shade above the horizon line, and I add some shadows to this box. So I'll make this the darkest side, furthest from my light source, except of course the bottom. Make this side a little shaded to show that the light is coming from the top. And then I'm going to put the shadow in here and do a little scumbling. And then the last step to really finish this off would just be to blend. You can use your finger. If you have a blending stick, you can definitely use that. Or a Q-tip or a cotton ball. So that is shading. The third way is called placement. So it says objects that are further away are placed closer to the horizon line. So if I put a horizon line up here, and I have one little triangle here, let's just do some other triangles. The one that is closest to me is this one. It's furthest from the horizon line. This one is the farthest from me because it's closest to the horizon line. The fourth technique is called size, and this is the one we're most used to. It says objects that are far away from the viewer appear smaller, and objects that are closer to the viewer appear larger. So if I have this rectangle here, I have a smaller one back here, and an even smaller one back here, an even smaller one, and they just keep getting smaller. The one that is closest to me is going to be this one. So I'm going to just shade it in with some cross hatching. The fifth way is called value and focus. Objects that are far away appear lighter in color and less clear than objects that are close to the viewer. So I have an ellipse, or you might call it an oval, with a crisp line there. And I'm going to put one further back that's just much hazier, grayer. It looks like it has some atmospheric graying. This one is the one that's closer to me. All right, and then the last technique that artists use to create the sense of depth or space in their artwork is perspective. And it says depth can be created through the use of one vanishing point, aka 1-point perspective. So we're going to draw a horizon line. And a lot of times we like to put the vanishing point right in the middle, but we're going to put it off to the side. And then I'm going to take this oval and I'm going to turn it into a three-dimensional shape called a cylinder. And usually we would draw these lines parallel to each other, equidistance. But in this case, we're going to pretend that they go back to this vanishing point, like we're seeing this in 1-point perspective. Okay, so now I need to decide how far back this cylinder is going to go. Is it going to be like a can of cat food? Is it going to be like a can of soup? Or is it going to be like a longer, taller cylinder like an oatmeal can? And that's how I'm going to make it. So this is going to be a little bit curved, and then I'm going to darken in the lines that I need, and then I can get rid of the lines that I don't need. But you'll notice it does get skinnier as it goes back because it's in 1-point perspective. All right, you guys, that is the element of art called space. And these are the 6 techniques that we use in our artwork to create that sense of depth. I can't wait to see what you create.